Welcome to Javid Radio, brought to you live by the Javid Media Group. Tonight's hosts, Avi Sipperstein, John Eisler, Blake, and world-renowned comedian Mike Fine.
Good evening and welcome to Javid Radio. Welcome back, everybody. We had a short hiatus from our program during the Passover holiday, but it's good to be back on the air. I'm joined in the studio with Blake this evening. This is your host, Avi Sipperstein. Welcome, Blake.
Thank you. Yeah, it has been a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back at full force. That's what I was trying to say.
Yep. That's what he was trying to say. He's a little rusty.
I'm a little rusty.
There's been a lot of changes, a lot of exciting developments.
Definitely. Well, first let's start off. Avi, how was your Pesach?
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. For those that are just tuning in for the first time, the number to... we are streaming live at surrealradio.com. It's SYREAL radio.com. There's a listen-in number as well if you do not have internet, so please feel free to share this. The listen-in number is 712-432-6553. Again, the listen-in line only, 712-432-6553. The number to text or call us into the studio with any questions, comments, 347-684-1155. Again, that number, 347-684-1155. We're going to have John on the line in just a moment while we get John connected. I know that Mike also tried calling in a short while ago. I don't know if he's on his way to the studio. He's been dealing with a few things, some good, some not so good. So we'll see if we get any updates from him. Again, we're streaming live at surrealradio.com, SYREALradio.com, with our media partners at FaBtastic Media. That's where you want to go to check out archives of the show, FaBtasticmedia.com. And we'll be announcing some media radio, changes soon, maybe during this program, but most likely not till next week. Go ahead, Blake. What were you saying?
Well, I just wanted you to know it's right after Pesach. Pesach just ended.
Well, how was your holiday?
My holiday was pretty good, pretty uneventful. What did I do over Cholamoid? Nothing much, a little bit. Blake's Jerky sold out all our Pesach flavors.
Yeah, you guys had a very exciting season.
Definitely very exciting.
And now you're getting ready for the big, exciting summer ahead, I understand.
Yeah, definitely have a lot of work to do in regards to that. But yeah, so I actually did this interesting thing on Tuesday.
John, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, fantastic.
What's going on?
Good. Blake is about to share something exciting with us. What was that about? Blake's Jerky, he said?
We had 4 Pesach flavors, kosher for Pesach flavors. They all sold out, every single one gone. We actually had a few orders that people wanted also for second days, but we could not get to those because we just didn't, there was no more time and ingredients and whatnot. So
you basically sold out and you ran out. That's exciting. And we have an exciting...
Not exciting for the people that ordered product, or that wanted to order product.
Right, it probably wasn't that exciting for them, but I guess Blake will have to make it up to them in some other way.
Well, what other way could Blake make it up to them?
Like a discount code, a coupon, a promo, something.
Got it.
In any case, John, how was your holiday? Were you around? What were you up to for Passover?
I was around, yes. We were home. The only time we went away is on Wednesday when we went to visit my parents at the hotel that they're staying at. I think I told you guys that last time they decided to stay for the first time. There was a Passover program that was done at the Claridge Hotel in Atlantic City.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Casino Passover, yeah. So I went up Wednesday, and we hung out there for the day. We had lunch there. We did some shopping at the outlet stores, which are really fantastic in Atlantic City. And we had a great day. It was nice.
Are they? Do they really have good deals out there?
Yeah. The outlet centers there are fantastic. Really good stuff. So we literally spent all afternoon shopping and filled up the car with a ton of crap. So it was great. Fun day. And the food actually was pretty good there. Weird crowd, but the food was good.
Was it a bunch of like...
And by the way, when I say weird crowd, I'm including my parents in that.
What is it? Just a bunch of like old Atlantic City people type of idea?
What, the crowd that's there?
Yeah.
No, actually, it was a bizarre collection of characters. A lot of misfits, weirdos, freaks. That made up probably about half of the people. And then you had some, the rest were normal, but it was, Passover is expensive in hotels. I don't know where these really weird, strange people get the money from. It almost looked like I don't know what the right term is, like a convention that was put together for, like, less fortunate people. I don't know how to say it.
That's what nothing. Someone in the background is talking.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Do you hear me?
Yeah,
we heard you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it just looked like a collection of like a convention of unfortunates that were assembled together somewhere in Brooklyn and all brought on this giant coach bus or multiple coach buses and dumped at the hotel. It was very odd. But, so like I said, Passover is very expensive. I don't know where these people got the money for that. But, whatever. It was, the place is beautiful. It's really, really nice hotel, great facilities, and I think there were probably about 300 people that were there. So it was nice. My parents had a good time. They said the food was great, and all was good. But more importantly than that, my son departed back for Israel today after being home for a month.
Oh, wow. So that
Yeah.
was really nice. It was nice having him.
Yeah, he had a really good month. He definitely matured a little bit and straightened up a little bit, which was great. Really great to see. We actually enjoyed the month with him, with the exception of the last couple of days where he became a pain in the neck again. But
What happened?
No, he came home, and I think I think I talked about this last time. He really, I think, was appreciative of being home and his house and his stuff, and I think being in Israel for the 7 months that he was there really gave him perspective on things. Because when he came back, he's like, "Wow, I forgot like how nice everything is," and I don't know. He was
able to appreciate the finer things that you do for him.
I really think he did, but I think that lasted about 3 weeks, and then by week number 4, he was back to his old
Well,
self.
that's how it always is with anything, right?
Yeah, and 3 weeks frankly was a pretty good run for him, I have to say. So now he's going back today for the next 6 weeks, and probably for the Poland trip that they do. And my words of departure to him were, behave yourself, stay out of trouble, and whatever you didn't get out of the first 7 months or so of being there, you have 6 more weeks to get out of it, everything that you can, and really wrap up a wonderful year and a great experience.
What are his plans upon returning?
Queens College.
Oh, wow. All right, good. So this is a plan in place.
Yeah, no, he's got a plan. He got accepted, and we're looking forward to that. So it's all good. Hopefully it comes back safely, and everything's cool.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it's been a while. We've been off there for a little while, but it's certainly good to be back. It's certainly good to hear your voice. And like I said before, we were trying to get an update earlier from Mike, but he called in, and then we lost the line. So we're going to try to follow up with him after. Hopefully he'll be back on the program in the coming weeks as well.
What was he doing over Passover? Any idea?
He was down in Miami with family, but also he whatchamacallit, he was doing. I think he had a few gigs set up over the holiday as well. So he was busy.
Was he at a hotel?
I don't know if he was staying in a hotel. I know that his. We should say a little prayer for his grandma. I know she was a little bit not feeling well, a little under the weather, if you want to call it. She was in the hospital, so I know that he was there, helping out with the family. And then I think while he was down there, he got booked for a few gigs. So he's been busy.
Oh, I think he got booked into a prison cell.
Not that I know of, but with him, anything can happen.
See, if Mike was smart, he probably does this. Why doesn't he offer to perform at hotels and entertain the crowd in order to stay for free?
You know what? That's a very good idea. When you become his agent, I guess you can start working on that for him.
I think when I become a comedian, I can do that.
That too, of course.
Right.
Yeah, when you become a comedian.
Right.
moving along from the Mike topic. So everyone had a good holiday. Everyone had a good Passover, and now we, of course, we have the summer months ahead of us, which is very exciting.
What you guys? What did you do?
So Blake said he was home. You know, nothing too crazy, but he was very busy with his beef jerky Passover run, which, like he said, as you heard, he sold out on the Passover run, which is very nice. And now he's been busy the last few days getting everything back for the regular beef jerky back into the stores, back into a store near you, back with the orders online and all that. And I was also home for the holidays with family. It was very nice. You know, it's always nice to spend time with family. It's always nice to catch up over the holidays. And, you know, it's always nice. I'm not going to say it's nice when it's over, but it's always nice to get back into the regular flow and, you know, regular schedule, you know?
Absolutely.
So it's good to be back on the air. It's good to be back with our listeners. And we do have some exciting programming coming this summer. We've been on this platform for just over 2 years, which is very cool, John. I think you've been with us for about a year and a half of it, I believe, which is very cool.
Yep.
So, you know, we want to have some exciting programming. Like I said, we have some big ideas planned. In fact, on that note, without saying much more, if you're a listener and you're looking to make some extra money over the next few months, we have some work opportunities. So send us an email to, what email address are we using? FaBtasticmedia@gmail.com. Again, if you are interested in making some money in affiliation with our media and radio programming over the next few months, send us an email for more information, for more details, to FaBtastic. That's F like Frank, A, B, not N, B like boy, tastic, FaBtasticmedia@gmail.com for more information about that. And, of course, we're going to talk about some of that, not tonight, but most likely next week when we get back on the air. John, we haven't had the opportunity to receive a political update in a while. And I believe politics have been pretty exciting, if anything, very entertaining over the last few weeks.
Yes, they most certainly have.
So
the field, as we know, has cleared, and we're down to 3 people on the Republican side. We're down to 2 people on the Democratic side. And it looks like we are further narrowing that down because it does appear that Hillary is in the process of finishing off Bernie. And Trump is in the process of trying to finish off Cruz. Kasich, of course, was never really, although he's in the race, he was never really a formidable competitor. But, you know, at this point now, I think it's become mathematically impossible for anyone except Trump to be able to clinch the nomination. And, you know,
is
it looks like
is he that close?
Well, the others do not have the ability to get enough delegates to be able to clinch the nomination. So the best that they can hope for, what they've been trying to do, is just to prevent Trump from getting enough delegates so that they can have what they call a contested convention, and then the delegates can change around their votes, I think, and they can possibly become the nominee as opposed to Trump if he doesn't get enough delegates.
Right, but
so there was even,
according to the regular, I guess, platform, the way it's set up, is that if he gets enough regular votes, he'll earn those delegates automatically, which would make him the nominee.
Well, the idea is that he just gets enough delegates. If you just get enough delegates, then you just become the presumptive nominee. I still think it has to be solidified at the convention, and I'm sure there'll be problems there. But if that's, again, assuming that you get enough delegates. If you don't, then they can go into the contested convention, and even the person that didn't get the highest number of delegates can still somehow become the nominee. Again, this is a crazy system that we have in this country that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. To me, what would make a lot of sense is just popular vote. And I don't know what the whole delegate thing is. It's like ridiculous.
Don't you find it interesting? I found it personally interesting that, I mean, this system has been in place for forever, basically, for ages, right? Isn't it funny? I mean, at least for me, I find it interesting / funny that this is the first time, really, that so much attention is being paid to these delegates and how the system works. It's almost as if...
No, I don't think so. I think that,
in previous years, people talking putting so much emphasis or.
no, that's because you and I don't have any memory of contested conventions, but I believe there have been a number of them in the past, but they were probably before both you and I were born.
So,
but also the other thing is with past elections, I think for the most part there was always one runaway candidate that was able to clinch the nomination and really not have it be that close. I think this is the first one in recent times that was really coming down to the wire like this. Usually at this point, I think the nominee has already pretty much been selected.
Mm-hmm. Selected.
But it's selected and have wrapped up their enough delegates to become the nominee without anyone being that close that it could become contested. But anyway, so the long story short is Bernie, I believe, has already started to wind down and start to lay off campaign workers, which is usually the first sign of being done.
Oh, wow.
So and Trump is looking forward to tomorrow's additional primaries, where I think it's California and some of the big ones. And I think he needs to get 48% of the remaining delegates in order to clinch the nomination. So it's going to be pretty close, but it looks like he has a pretty good chance to do it.
Wow. So this, and explain to me maybe how this works. There are people in the Republican Party that want to contest. Obviously, like you said, the even the possibility of Donald Trump being the Republican nominee, right?
Correct.
Now, how is he then? Meaning, if that was the case from the beginning, how is he able to even run as a Republican from the beginning? Like, how does that part work? Meaning, if people, if so many people, so many members of the Republican Party are not interested in or trying to contest his ability to even run, so then when he announced that he wanted to run initially, why wasn't there any
opposition?
Why was there any opposition from the beginning, and why didn't the Republican Party or the peoples that are trying to do this now, why didn't they have the ability, I should say, to put their foot down from the beginning, to not even give him the opportunity to even?
Well, that's a good question. I don't have the answer, but my speculation on that would be simply that I don't think anybody actually thought that he had any sort of chance.
So
I think it was sort of became.
They said, if anything, it's almost like the party said, this guy doesn't have a chance, but it'll bring a lot of attention to the party, so
right.
Let's let him.
Well, it'll bring a lot of attention, and whatever support he can muster up, he'll just drop out of the race and endorse someone else, and those voters would end up transitioning over to the new person. In fact, maybe they even thought that someone like Trump can just attract people to the Republican Party that otherwise were disenfranchised or not really interested. And then again, same thing. Once he drops out, he would just transition over to a different politician that he would endorse, and those voters would then,
Wow.
be Republicans and now support a different member of the party that Trump endorses. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody in their right mind, including myself, and I hate to admit being wrong, but in this case I was very wrong. I didn't think it would come to this at all. I thought within 2-3 months he'd be out, and that he was just trying to draw attention to himself and his businesses and his properties.
In the very beginning, I also thought it was a marketing campaign.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good one because it's basically free publicity.
Yeah.
And he loves being at the center of attention like that. So that's kind of what I thought was going on.
Wow. Well, you know what? I think it's pretty fascinating how things have evolved.
Yeah. It really it got to a point way further than I think, again, anybody really thought would happen.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Well, who would you rather him vote against? Would he rather Hillary or Sanders? What do you think between voting for either of them, who do you think has a bigger chance of winning?
I think if it was Sanders, I think Trump would have wiped the floor with him, because I really don't think Sanders, I don't think that most Democrats could really get behind someone like Sanders. It's just, it's too extreme.
The question is also, how did Sanders get that far also?
Again, there's always a percentage of the population that is looking for somebody like that. In this case, there's a lot of people in America that are in favor of the ideas that Sanders has, and anytime you're knocking Wall Street, and anytime you're talking about wealth distribution, and anytime you're talking about racism, and anytime you're talking about these hot-button topics, you're just automatically going to get the support of minorities and a lot of these other elements of the American population.
Right.
So I think that's how he kind of got into the mix, and there's a market for his brand, but I don't think in a real election that even the real Democrats would get behind someone like Sanders. The ideas and concepts are just they're just insane, actually, socialist and insane. So I think if it was Sanders, I think Trump would wipe the floor with him. With Hillary, it's going to be tough because if even the Republicans that would normally support Trump, they could have a change of heart. They could say, listen, even though this is kind of like, it's been fun, it's been entertaining, but is this really what I want? Whereas Hillary's a seasoned politician, so we could potentially see Trump get beaten by Hillary and just have more of the same crap that we've always had. I myself personally would absolutely vote for Trump, but again, I'm always a little bit more on the fringes like that. I don't know what some of the more mainstream people would do. Now, again, it's also possible that if and when he is able to wrap up this the delegates and become the nominee, and he really does become the Republican guy, maybe he will start acting a little bit more political. Maybe the establishment will get behind him.
He already has been
and say,
starting to act a lot more political than when he began.
Well,
Something that's more refined.
Yeah, no,
little bits,
much more.
little bits here and there, but then he kind of reverts back to who he really is, which I enjoy, and I think I'm very entertained by it. But I think when push comes to shove, if he really becomes a Republican nominee, I think there's going to also be a lot of Republicans that say, okay, you know what, I'd rather have this than a Democrat, even if the Democrat is whoever. I just don't care. And then they start to work with him and say, okay, listen, let's shake hands, let's make a peace treaty here, and let's work together, and let's come up with some real political ideas and a real platform, and let's try to do this and make it work. Whereas now their focal point is just trying to not have him be the nominee.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to be very curious if it's Trump and Hillary, the amount of fighting and because Trump's pretty good at knocking people and
not only that, he
making
knows
their garbage obvious. Right.
Not only that, he knows the Clintons pretty well. He's always been he's always been
Absolutely
a friend and supporter of Hillary. So it's definitely going to be interesting because number one, just who he is. Number two, who Hillary is. And then number three, the fact that they've had this friendship, and who knows, maybe they've even done business or some kind of, maybe they've worked on different things together in the past. So it's almost like he knows things that, who knows what he's going to reveal. Like, it's almost like this is going to be like...
she also knows some things, but I don't really know Trump, how much dirt she can get on Trump. I'm sure, when you're a businessman like that, there's a lot of dirt.
Oh, please, Blake, if they were able to get dirt on him, that would have been well aired out already.
Yeah, they would have done it already.
Oh, you think so?
They might be saving something.
No, I mean, he's gonna rip Hillary a new one when a push comes to
shove. He himself has made very clear. He said a few times, I haven't even gotten started with her yet.
Yeah.
Close quote.
So she must be worried on some level, no?
Oh, of course, she has to be.
I'm sure that she at the next debate, if it's the two of them, my guess is she's wearing a diaper.
Well, let me tell you, it's definitely going to be an exciting election, but I really think that Trump right now has a solid chance of winning this election.
Yes.
I was by my Passover meal. I had someone at my meal who's actually a pretty big liberal, and she actually made a very good point. She was saying the problem with Trump, and I actually agree with this to a point. The problem with Trump is, truthfully, I think he could be a really good president, but the problem with Trump is he's a very big loose cannon. Like a lot of people are saying that, Trump could go two ways. If he becomes a president, he could either be one of the greatest presidents America has had and make a lot of change and, actually do good for this country, or it could be exact opposite. Like, Trump is not going to be one of those people that are just going to be an average president. He's going to be one of those presidents that you remember.
No, it'll be zero.
Yeah, but if he's either going to do a lot or he's going to do a lot of bad. He's going to do a lot
That's
either
my thing.
way. But
it could be a legendary presidency or a complete and total disaster. I don't think there could be anything in the middle.
Well, so, and for me, I mean, the way this country's going, I mean, I'm willing to take that risk. When I go and vote, I'm willing to take that risk. Hopefully, if he gets
Absolutely.
It's worth the risk.
Well, I do agree with you. I think it's very much worth the risk because what is the alternative? The alternative is just more of the same crap.
Yeah, I mean, Bernie Sanders is not even a question.
It's funny. It's funny that's one of the things that people were saying, were asking. Like, why are you so pro-Trump? And I said, it's not necessarily a pro-Trump stance. It's more of
we need change.
All these other guys
Anti-establishment.
playing, they're all yes and no, but everybody, all the other candidates, if you want to call them, are still playing the same political game. It's all about we need to do this and we need to do. They're saying the same thing that all presidential candidates always say every election, all the promises, blah blah blah. At least with him, you know exactly what you're going to get, in my opinion.
Right. What you see is what you get.
Yeah. So that's what I think people find refreshing about him. That like maybe they don't necessarily agree with everything. And someone said to me, "Are you crazy? You think he's going to put up a wall?" Nah, I truthfully don't think he's going to put up a wall. I don't think so. That's one of his things,
right?
Yeah.
But I happen to think I don't know if he's going to put up an actual wall. I highly doubt he's going to put out an actual wall. But I think that I mean, obviously, like I said, I don't really know Trump, but I feel like when he talks a lot bigger, but he does. So like when he says he's going to put up a wall, he's not going to actually put up a wall, but he is going to tighten immigration to a lot. Like he's going to make it a lot harder, and he's going to do a lot of changes in immigration, whether it's physically building the wall.
Or he will.
Right.
I mean, frankly, what's so bad about that?
It's not bad at all. You know how many people here need to, America couldn't do so much better if, they were giving money to the own Americans. And I can't really lie, as, truthfully, if it came down to it, if I had to pay a guy.
I don't understand how anybody could disagree with protecting our borders and saying, hey, listen, it's really like saying somebody wants to put locks on their front door in their house and arguing that you shouldn't have locks on the front door of your house. Well, why? Why do I want every stranger that's homeless walking off the street and walking into my house? Am I not entitled to protect my property, to protect my possessions, protect my family, protect my house? Am I not? Is there something wrong with doing that, or should I just allow it a free for all that whoever wants to come in and take what you want?
Well, yeah, that's.
Think about it, really.
Well, when talking about I think you should let people come in and have a free for all and take whatever they want.
Well, absolutely, I do. I took all the locks off my door because I think that's the right thing to do. But I'm saying for most people, it's not. For people as charitable and as kind as I am, it's you wouldn't expect my door to be locked. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, it's a very big problem.
Listen, think about it. I mean, if your borders are open, and I'm not saying anything anybody doesn't know, and I really, again, don't have someone has a problem with this, but if your borders are open, then anyone and everyone, it's basically an invitation to anyone to come in. And who's going to come in? Maybe 90% of the people that come are fine and no problem and go on to be productive citizens. And maybe out of the last 10%, there are rapists and there are criminals, and maybe 1% of that last 10% are actual terrorists, and all it takes is one person to do something that kills 1,000 people.
Not even 1,000. I wouldn't even say 1,000, because when's the last time we had a terrorist attack that killed 1,000 people? Why do we even have to look at that one person that kills 20 people, because, in his hometown or whatever? Yeah. Why?
How about the one person that then organizes 100 other people? And now you have a whole group of them. I mean, you don't know. But the bottom line again is you can only let people into your country that have gone through a process and a screening program, and that you know who they are, where they're from, and their background. And if you don't, it literally becomes an invitation to potentially cause a tremendous amount of damage to your country. And I don't understand how anybody could argue that that's an acceptable... What?
Go on.
Nothing.
No, I just don't think anybody could argue that that's an acceptable way to go, to just have an open border and everyone comes in. It just doesn't make conceptually any sense.
I know, that's definitely true. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, that's actually a good point. Like, I never really thought about, like, how they could actually disagree with that. But I'm curious. Next time I find someone that, is okay with the borders open, I'm going to ask them.
I mean, most other countries operate that way, right?
No, you can't just walk into countries.
If you want to go to anywhere, I mean, in Europe, right? Am I right or wrong?
I'm pretty sure.
The Europeans have open borders with each other because that's part of the European Union, where you can travel from country to country and not have to go through, a process like that, as far as I understand. Right. But I'm pretty sure...
Well, yeah, that's why people go around trips. They take a train. You just take a train and go around all the countries.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure you can't just walk into, Canada or walk into Russia or walk into China. I mean, maybe you can. I mean, I don't know, whatever. But, for the most part, countries have a system where, you want to come in.
You want to know who's in your country. It's like... Even if you do a party in your house, you want to know who's in your house. It's just like,
of course,
you don't want to
just should I advertise a party on Craigslist, and whoever wants to come just shows up. I mean, is that okay?
By the way, that would be entertaining. That would make for some good reality TV.
It might be entertaining for you if it's at my house, of course. But yeah, so next time somebody says that we should have an open border and that it's all okay, just ask them to go home and remove the locks from their door, and to send out an email on social media letting everybody know that the doors are unlocked. Please come in whenever you like.
I love the analogy. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back.
For the best in quality home healthcare, combined with top-notch customer service, contact Elite Care today for all your home healthcare and medical supply needs. We accept most insurances, and our private pay is super competitive. Call Jack at Elite Care at 323-973-0385. Make the switch to Elite today.
Welcome back to Javid Radio. This is Avi Sipperstein, joined in the studio with Blake. We have John on the line. We were just talking about the presidential election, the upcoming presidential election, moving more now to local politics. It seems like there's just scandal after scandal coming out on the local in the New York City area with our mayor. Is that correct, John?
Yes, it is, actually.
Yeah. So, whoa. Are you good there? John, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm a little bit distracted by my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know the full details on that. It's funny when a lot of people who, for anyone that observes, the different holidays, they can relate. But for those that don't, when you have a holiday like Passover, where you have so many days that you're just completely out of the loop of the world around you. It's like you come back, I came back after Passover, and I keep seeing all these posts and different things. I haven't had much of a chance to read about what's going on with de Blasio or what the reason for, what they're going after him for. I certainly think it's interesting. John, do you have any more?
Hopefully it could be something that takes down his political career. That'd be great.
Well, it's funny. The one thing I did read is that he did make a statement saying that despite whatever it is that's going on, despite whatever subpoenas or whatever it is that they're accusing him of, despite all that, he still is already talking about running for re-election.
After this, I don't think he's going to get very far.
Yeah, no, it said he's still this. He's not going to let this issue affect his, his run.
What's he supposed to say? Let's see the outcome of what happens here, and let's see if my political career is ended, or if I'm still going to be around to run again. I mean, is that the approach he should take? What's he supposed to say?
I don't know, but I just found that very ironic. I found it, I mean, almost entertaining, if you'd say, isn't that? I mean, it's almost funny. It's like he hasn't even gone through this. We haven't even gotten to the bottom of whatever it is that they're coming after him for, and he said, "Well, this is in the way of my run."
I think that's just his way of saying, "Can everyone just ignore this stuff and let's move on?"
Yeah, he's gonna have a laugh at that, though. Nobody's moving on from this anytime soon.
I'm sorry, Blake. What was that?
He's not. Nobody's moving on anytime soon from this. Actually, talking more about that, by the way, they had there was a guy arrested for talking about scandals. There's a guy arrested for getting people gun licenses.
What's the story
illegally.
with that?
So there's someone. I guess he was paying off a cop. I'm not sure why he is always in the news and not the cop that he was paying off or whatever that got the gun licenses. But it wasn't just him. But he was getting gun licenses. He was I'm not exactly sure what he was doing. I guess he was getting people gun licenses either. And there was a debate. This happened like last week, and the whole week it was a debate. Like, oh, what exactly is going to happen for all the gun licenses that he got issued? Are they going to allow them to keep them? Yada yada. And today I actually just saw a letter that was sent to each of the people that he got gun licenses for that said, basically your license is suspended. You have to do A, B, and Z. A, B to Z. A, B, C. A, B, C.
What?
You have to do basically A, B, C, and then we will get the license, and then they'll decide if they think you should have your license back or not.
What exactly was the issue behind it? Why shouldn't they have gotten their licenses, and why are they taking them away?
Well, they shouldn't have gotten them because they basically paid a guy $12,000 to get them the license. Because usually it's to get a gun license in New York City is a big deal, and they got the license basically.
Meaning it was bribery, or
it was bribery. It
so
sounds like
they should not have. They should
They
not
shouldn't have got.
They,
Yeah,
they didn't meet the criteria
to actually get the license.
licenses.
Yeah, so whatever he did,
something maybe because they were supporters or whatnot. Again, this is
Whatever,
speculation. We don't know the exact details of it.
So yes, so all those gun licenses are being revoked, and they have to, I guess, prove to them why they need it.
Interesting.
And they'll see from there. But that was pretty interesting.
Either way, politics right now on the local level and on the national level is certainly exciting. It's almost become, it's become very entertaining. It's a little scary, but it's very entertaining.
I don't know about exciting, but there's certainly a lot of developments.
Right. Okay, good point. Good way to put it.
I don't think De Blasio is too excited.
Well, I'm saying it's exciting in the sense that there's activity. There's a lot of activity. Now, what I found interesting is I very recently joined Snapchat, which is another one of these ridiculous social media platforms. But I did it because I read that it's good for different businesses and different business purposes. So I'm actually using I'm using my Snapchat for different things, and they have on Snapchat like popular Snapchat feeds, they call it. And I watched Snapchat feed the other day of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and what I found to be so, I didn't watch the dinner; they just have different clips.
I saw that in the news, with Obama. He's funny.
He's a comedian. He's got a good sense of humor. But is it not strange that the people that are getting invited to this, and again, I know celebrities is one thing, but they had all these DJs there. They were DJs and party people that lead the party nation. Have
it's Obama. What do you expect?
And White House, they get White House correspondents' invitations to these dinners, and I'm looking at some of these people. They're DJs who make music where people go crazy. Why are those people? I understand they're popular, but why are they enamored and become glorified in the eyes of the public? I don't understand.
I don't know if it's glorified. I don't know who makes the list. It could be Obama, one of them. It's his dinner. He gets to decide. I don't know. I don't really know how that works.
I don't know how that works.
But talking about videos, I just was on Instagram a little bit ago, and I saw a video. Who's Cruz's Fiona? Fiona was introducing Cruz, who, by the way, everyone hates.
Who's Fiona?
Fiona, Cruz not elected, chose his vice president. If he wins, that's who his vice president's going to be.
Isn't Carly Fiorina?
Farina, yeah, whatever, who she is. Anyway, so Fiorina, whatever. You could pronounce the name. I'm gonna say she. So she was introducing, I guess, Cruz and his family at a event in Indiana.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh, whatever, this or this Cruz," and she falls off the stage. She fell off the stage, and
what are you talking about?
yeah,
What is this video?
yeah, and Cruz did nothing. He just continued talking. And didn't help her up or anything. Trump was ripping on him for it.
Right, that's got to be on YouTube somewhere.
Well, I have it. I have it on Instagram here. It's on.
What feed is it on? There we go. This video is posted on the Yeshiva World Instagram. How do we get a link to that video? And
go.
That is fantastic.
I'll read it.
That's hysterical.
We have to Google that right away.
It says, I'll read you the whole thing. It says, Donald Trump on Monday jokingly called opponent Ted Cruz cruel for not helping Carly.
It's actually,
Fiorina.
if you go in, this is for the listeners. If you go into Google and just type in Fiorina, Fiorina, the first thing is
I got it on YouTube.
Falls.
But I gotta see this. Hold on, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, we gotta watch this. I mean, this is.
You know what I like about Trump the best is that how many presidents have ran for president and they had anti-Trump campaign. How many times was there an anti-that specific president?
Oh shit! She fell off the stage.
And did you see what he does? He does nothing.
No, but I'm looking at it. His back was turned. He didn't see
She
it.
literally falls right through the. It looks like she literally
By
falls right through the floor.
by that second stage, he sees her. He didn't see
I
the fall.
had no idea.
He didn't see the actual fall, but he most probably saw her afterwards.
He
He did not see it.
Yeah, but you don't think he saw her afterwards on the floor?
No. By the time he turns around, somebody already lifted her up and put her back on the stage.
I don't know.
I'm watching it.
I didn't see that part. It's on Instagram.
I just watched it 2 times. The first he turns around and looks at her, she's already back on the stage.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't see.
That was totally,
But either way, that was pretty funny.
Oh no,
that was totally innocent, though.
Yeah.
it's definitely.
No. He knew. He's still a complete.
Watch the video!
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference though. He's still a horrible person.
Blake, it makes a difference.
It doesn't make a difference because he's still a horrible person. Just because this one time he's okay, that doesn't
Okay,
make
but I'm
it.
just saying, don't blame the guy for something that legitimately wasn't his fault. He didn't see it.
Yeah, I think it's just really funny. I mean, she literally is standing there giving her speech,
And then she's not.
and she literally just fall. It looks like she.
It looks like she went through like a secret
through the
floor.
He,
It looks like she fell through a trap door.
yeah, it literally looks like she disappeared, but no one. He didn't have a chance to see it.
Now my
He
question:
did not see
did
it.
anybody else elect
By
a
the
vice
time,
president?
his back turns around, she's
Oh,
already back up.
Yeah, I
there.
see that.
But that is truly hilarious. Wow.
Yeah, how embarrassing.
Wow. Oh my God. I have to watch that again. Oh my God. If you are not watching, if you are listening right now and not watching this, you need to. This is, oh my God, right through the floor. Right through the floor.
Oh, you know what's funny? The wife doesn't.
No, that's what it is.
Cruz saw.
His
Not
wife
Ted Cruz
didn't
saw.
move.
Ted Cruz's wife saw. That just shows what type of girl she.
And then she
he
someone
married.
helps her get up. She literally walks back on stage and gives Mrs. Cruz a hug. Ted, in his defense,
I can't blame
he
Ted.
really did not see.
She should have done something. She did nothing.
Wow.
Mrs. Cruz, whatever her name is, did nothing. It's funny. Nobody else elected a vice president, right? Sanders didn't elect anyone yet, in case he wins.
Well, how about this? Why is Ted Cruz selecting a vice president when he doesn't have a nomination?
Well, I was hoping that would get
Yeah,
his nomination.
He look at
I
it.
know what I was
Trying
hoping,
to-
but it's such a
He's trying to win.
transparent nonsense.
Yeah, that was pretty funny though. He was
Looks
the
like he's
first.
trying to get some of the female vote, some of the Hillary vote.
He had such a bad rating.
Because if Ted Cruz actually were, for some crazy reason, to become the nominee, and he was running against Hillary, if you want to try to split the women vote, of course that's what you do. You pick a women vice president. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
It's just obscene. It's obscene to be selecting a vice president when you don't even have enough mathematical delegates to even become the nominee.
Well, he's trying. He's pulling. He's basically, I guess what I would call it's like kind of he's grabbing for air. He's trying to stay afloat, trying to stay alive, and he's basically pulling out whatever stops he has available to him, whether they're smart or make sense or not. That definitely seems like the direction that he's leaning.
It's like me just graduating college, looking for a job, and at the same time setting up my plans for retirement. I just graduated college. I haven't even worked a day in my life yet. What do you mean you're setting up your retirement plans?
Well,
it's just stupid.
It's funny. I mean, look, like I said, this whole campaign has been just so entertaining. It's been quite an education as well. Like, again, I never even thought about delegates, super delegates, never even knew that such a concept existed until this election. So
I think the only time I know it existed was when Bush got elected as opposed to Gore.
Oh, yeah? Is the same thing happened there?
Well, there was the thing where Gore and Lieberman won, I think, the popular vote, but didn't win the presidency because something to do with delegates. It was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Remember the whole hanging Chad thing with Florida?
Yeah, I mean, I was really young back then, but I do remember it was a whole issue. Like he got
it was terrible.
All right. Well, wow, we're getting close for time over there, but that was very, very informative, very interesting. Of course, stay tuned with us Monday evenings to get all your political updates if you don't get them during the week, and of course, stay tuned for.
Actually, why bother getting them during the week when you can get them here on Monday nights?
Exactly. See,
you have to watch a week's worth of news to get to what we just give you a synopsis of from 8 to 9 o'clock.
So don't even bother watching politics for the next few days, and tune in next Monday evening, same time, 8 to 9 p.m. at to our program. And again, next week we will have some updates about some new media partnerships and some programming. Again, if you are just tuning in now, if you or someone you know is interested in making some money over the next summer months, we have some part-time positions available here at the Javid Radio and the FaBtastic Media Group. So shoot us an email to fabtasticmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can go to FaBtasticmedia.com to check out the archives of some of our previous shows.
Wait, can I ask a question?
No.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Did you say no?
Go ahead. What's your question?
That was mean. That was just mean. What are the job opportunities? Is that something that I missed? Because I didn't hear about anything like that. And there's a reason why I'm asking.
Yeah, send an email to fabtasticmedia@gmail.com, and we'll send you all the information.
Oh, okay. So is it like a part-time kind of thing, work from home? Is it something we can come to an office?
Most of the positions you can work from home. So very exciting stuff. But send us an email. We'll send you some more information. And, of course, if you have any questions or comments, you want to share anything with us, even when we're not on the air, best way to do that is send a text message to 347-684-1155. Again, 347-684-1155. Send us a text, and we'll be happy to address your thoughts. If you know of anyone that would like to be a guest on our show or should be a guest on our show, send us their information as well. We're looking to book some new guests for this summer season. So if you know of someone that has an interesting product, service, store, idea, anything, send us an email, and we will do the follow-up. We'll get them on as a guest. We're planning some exciting shows over the next few months, so be sure to reach out.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I become a guest on the show?
I think you ran out. You ran out. You ran out of options. You ran out of chances.
I did? Okay. Well, if you need a guest at some point, then shoot me an email or a text, and I'll gladly come down to the studio as a guest, not as a co-host, as a
we're
guest.
We're redoing the studio here. There's a lot of developments that you haven't seen here in the
Yeah.
studio.
A lot of
When it's done, let me know, because I've seen a few remodels already. They all look the same, with just some furniture moved around in different spots.
No, this is exciting. We might even have a closet for you.
Did you see what we did with the place? What'd you do? We moved the microwave from over here to over there. Wow, it's fantastic. The whole place
Go
looks
ahead,
different.
make fun, John. Go ahead, make fun.
We cleaned the toilet this week. It looks brand new.
Oh boy, that's
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, that expired also. We have to take care of that too.
Can somebody please tell our listeners, if you want to listen to archived shows, where do you go?
FaBtasticmedia.com.
Oh, so that's like the answer to everything. That seems to be the answer to everything. If you want a job, if you want to listen to shows, if you want to be a media partner, so that's like a one-stop shop for everything?
Absolutely, that's correct. Or shoot a text to 3.
What if I'm looking for a dinner idea? Can I go there too?
Whatever you want to do.
Hold on, I'll give you the number. If you're looking for a dinner idea, let me give you the phone number to call. It's 516-295-7322.
Stop it! You're such an idiot.
And for that, we think...
Hold on. While I do that, let me give out Avi's home address on the phone.
As long as nobody's giving out my address, you can give out whatever you want.
Who gives out somebody's home phone number to a bunch of strangers that we call listeners? That's
They're not
insane.
strangers, they're our friends. Thank you so much, John.
No, not my friends.
Thank you for joining us, John. Blake, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to be back on the air. We look forward to seeing you next week and throughout the summer months right here at surrealradio.com. For now, we'll give you an update on a new website soon. And again, any questions or comments, thoughts, send us a text, 347-684-1155. Make sure you tune in next week for more political updates, for more exciting news and information from your Javid Radio crew. Have a great night.
Everyone, good night.